Yellowstone has always been a hotbed of excitement, drawing in hordes of tourists with its jaw-dropping attractions. But now, there's an extra reason to be careful while you explore. World-renowned physicist Michio Kaku just dropped a major announcement. Yellowstone is finally erupting in 2023, and it might just destroy the entire thing. Join us as we dig deeper into Michio Kaku's announcement and what it means for the future of the national park and the Earth as a whole. Let's talk about Yellowstone. First off, there's this incredible Grand Canyon. The Yellowstone River did some serious sculpting over time, creating a stunning canyon that's a whopping 20 miles long and goes down 1,200 feet. The best part is the lower falls, where the river drops an impressive 308 feet, twice as tall as Niagara Falls. The impact of the falls hitting the canyon floor is mesmerizing, with foam and mist shooting into the air. The rocks below stay wet, covered in vibrant green moss all year. As the river rushes along, the foam goes away, revealing the water's true color, crystal clear. The green hue comes from algae and moss, making this site unique. Then there's Mammoth Hot Springs, a cool place where heat, water, minerals, and limestone team up to create something fascinating. Hot water comes up from deep within the earth, dissolving calcium carbonate from the limestone underground, creating travertine that comes to the surface. Now, let's talk about the Upper Geyser Basin, a jackpot of geothermal wonders in Yellowstone. The famous Old Faithful Geyser is the star here, erupting predictably. The park can even predict eruptions from 5 large geysers in this area. But here's the twist. Yellowstone has a fiery side because of its connection to volcanoes. The park feels the effects, and it's part of what makes it special. But now, something scary is happening. In just 24 hours, a massive crack, 100 feet wide, appeared in Teton, a part of the park. Park authorities are on high alert, closing off a large section to figure out what's going on. Teton knows about volcanoes due to some geological factors: tough rocks, vertical uplift, the mountain's age, and forces of destruction. Unlike older mountains, the Tetons, less than 10 million years old, haven't eroded away, and that's why they're still standing tall. The recent crack has everyone wondering what it means for the park's landscape. The Tetons, a mountain range, are special because their rocks are really tough and don't easily break. These rocks are hard, resistant to damage from things like temperature changes and ice. They don't decay much in the cold Tetons climate, and there are no weak layers to make them collapse. So, they last longer than other mountains. This toughness helps keep steep walls and tall rock points intact, but they still break over time, forming piles of broken rock. Even though the rocks are strong, temperature changes cause them to crack. Some cracks are small, but others are big. Water that freezes in the cracks breaks the rock away slowly, a process called frost wedging. When a piece of rock falls, it can roll a long way, breaking into smaller pieces. The process isn't constant. Rocks can flow like glaciers if mixed with snow or water. Snow avalanches also move rocks down the mountainsides. Running water, especially during spring floods, is powerful in moving rock debris. This whole process changes the landscape constantly, making it both beautiful and dangerous. Now, in the Teton area, experts are watching a crack closely. The rocks there are tough, but the crack is expanding. This is important because Yellowstone, nearby, is filling with molten rock from deep in the earth. The crack's movement could be a sign of changes in the ground due to this activity, so it's a constant struggle between tough rocks and natural forces, creating a dynamic and sometimes risky environment. Under the ground in Yellowstone, there are big chambers full of magma, which is super hot, melted rock. When these chambers get full, the land can explode anytime, whether it's soon or even thousands of years later. The explosion happens when these chambers break open, letting out a huge amount of magma into the air. This magma is a powerful kind of rock called rhyolite, and during an explosion, it can easily break through the Earth's surface, causing a lot of damage. Scientists are studying this area to understand how much magma is going into the volcano each year. They put a safe, radioactive substance called deuterium into hot springs in Yellowstone to figure this out. These hot springs are connected to a network of vents that are important for the volcano. By measuring the temperature and how long it takes for the deuterium to go back to normal, scientists can find out how much water and heat are coming out of the springs. This helps them understand the volcano without dealing with real magma. The studies show that there is more water and heat coming out of the springs than scientists thought. This has turned the volcano, which was believed to be asleep, into a dangerous situation. Scientists say it's just a matter of time before the supervolcano wakes up and causes a very powerful eruption that could affect the whole country. Yellowstone's danger comes from something called the Yellowstone Hotspot. This is a special area under the Earth's surface where there's a lot of volcanic activity. As the Earth's plates move, this hotspot creates a trail of volcanoes. Yellowstone is the most recent one, and it's a result of this hotspot. The heat from the hotspot creates the geysers, hot springs, and other cool features that make Yellowstone National Park famous. This hotspot has left a trail of volcanic features across the northwestern United States, shaping the landscape over millions of years. The craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve is like a big reminder of a volcano's long-lasting impact. This volcano, known as the Yellowstone Hotspot, has been active for millions of years, but sometimes it's more active than other times. Every now and then, there are really big volcanic events, like when Yellowstone caldera was formed. These huge eruptions happen every couple of 100,000 years, with much longer quiet periods in between. Scientists have known about the Yellowstone hotspot for a long time. It helps them understand what's going on deep inside the Earth and how things like mantle plumes and plate tectonics work. They study it to learn about the Earth's history. Lately, there have been some worrying signs at Yellowstone. The ground is going up, and there's a massive 465-mile-long flow of molten rock moving under the park. The big geysers are more active than ever. Some people are starting to wonder if all of this means there's going to be a big eruption, much bigger than Mount St. Helens in 1980. Yellowstone has had super eruptions before. The last one was 664,000 years ago. If it happens again, it could be a disaster. Scientists found evidence of 47 super eruptions in the past, with the most recent one 26,000 years ago in New Zealand. NASA is thinking about drilling into the supervolcano to cool it down. They want to use the heat to make power. But it's really risky because it might make things worse and cause the eruption they're trying to stop. Even if it works, it will take tens of thousands of years to cool the volcano completely, and there's no guarantee it will work. Scientists believe that if there was a huge volcanic eruption at Yellowstone, it could cover the northern Rockies with 3 feet of ash. Just think about the problems this would cause in Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Montana, and Utah. The Midwest would also get some ash, but not as much. The coasts would get even less. Even a few inches of this ash could cause a lot of trouble. It could hurt plants, animals, and people. Buildings would break under the weight of the ash, roads would be blocked, and more people would have trouble breathing. Even a little bit of ash could mess up power lines, break transformers, and stop air travel in North America. Imagine being stuck without a fight for who knows how long. When it comes to the whole world's climate, a big volcanic eruption like the one that could happen at Yellowstone would be a big deal. These eruptions send a lot of sulfur aerosols into the air. These make a shield that cools down the Earth. When these sulfur aerosols go up high in the air, they scatter sunlight, making it cooler on Earth. It's like the Earth's own air conditioner, but there's no way to control it. Everything would just get colder and colder. The impact of these volcanic aerosols can be huge. Take Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991. When it erupted, it put a lot of sulfur dioxide in the air. This made the whole planet cooler by about 1 degree Celsius for a few years. This might not sound like a lot, but even a small change in the Earth's climate can be a big problem. Another example is Mount Tambora in Indonesia in 1815. This big eruption put a lot of ash and gases in the air, including sulfur aerosols. This made the whole world cooler. The next year, 1816, was called the Year Without a Summer in many places. Crops failed, and there wasn't enough food in many areas. So, if Yellowstone had a big eruption, it wouldn't just be a problem for nearby places. The sulfur aerosols in the air would cause problems with the weather and farming all over the world. It could hurt ecosystems, mess up food production, and affect people's lives everywhere. Volcanic aerosols, which temporarily cool the Earth, can impact the climate despite their short lifespan. Dr. Michio Kaku, a respected physicist, predicts that Yellowstone will erupt in 2023.
Underneath Yellowstone, that if it erupts in a maximum eruption called Category 8, it could literally tear the guts out of the United States of America.
But he assures us that advanced warnings will precede the event, giving us weeks to evacuate. However, recent signs like increased geyser activity, rising ground levels, and numerous earthquakes hint at growing instability. Despite expert reassurances, the planet seems to be shaking more each year, raising concerns about imminent natural disasters and potential loss of life. In response, scientists worldwide collaborate at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory. They use tools like seismometers to track magma movement beneath the Earth's surface, estimating the time until a potential eruption. Monitoring hot springs and geysers also helps gauge Yellowstone's threat level. Despite these efforts, the fear of catastrophic consequences persists. Yet, following Kaku's advice, scientists work diligently to minimize potential disaster impacts. By studying and understanding the volcano's behavior, they aim to provide accurate warnings and, if necessary, devise strategies to reduce the damage. The Yellowstone caldera's complex nature requires a multifaceted approach, including ground-based monitoring stations, satellite imagery, and continuous observation of geothermal features. This comprehensive strategy allows scientists to piece together the puzzle of Yellowstone's potential eruption, offering hope that, even if evacuation becomes impossible, measures can be taken to mitigate the devastation. As the world faces increasing environmental challenges, the collaboration of experts and the utilization of advanced technologies become crucial for both understanding and responding to the unpredictable forces of nature. At the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, scientists are busy studying the gases that volcanoes release. Volcanoes, like the ones in Yellowstone, let out gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. This comprehensive strategy allows scientists to piece together the puzzle of Yellowstone's potential eruption, offering hope that, even if evacuation becomes impossible, measures can be taken to mitigate the devastation. As the world faces increasing environmental challenges, the collaboration of experts and the utilization of advanced technologies become crucial for both understanding and responding to the unpredictable forces of nature. At the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, scientists are busy studying the gases that volcanoes release. Volcanoes, like the ones in Yellowstone, let out gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. These gases help scientists learn about the magma chamber beneath the Yellowstone caldera, which is like a giant underground chamber of molten rock. To collect and study these gases, scientists use fancy tools like remote sensing and gas sampling. By doing this, they get important information about what's happening in the Yellowstone system. Studying Yellowstone's volcano is tough because it's complicated and not easy to predict. Still, the scientists are determined to learn more about it. Thanks to better technology and smarter ways to analyze data, they've made big progress in understanding Yellowstone. They even found a hidden magma reservoir just a few kilometers below the park's surface. The scientists work with government agencies to keep an eye on the volcano in real time. If there's a chance it might get more active, they can warn people to stay safe. This is crucial for the millions of visitors who come to Yellowstone National Park every year. Missing something important, even for just one day, could mean serious trouble, not only for the people in the park, but for the whole planet. Now, do you think we could survive if Yellowstone's volcano went supernova? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates. We'll catch you in the next video.